newlydanish.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. We are actually going to practice with the previous test just to show you guys what it's like. All right, so this is the first session, class of summer 2026. I am going to be your host for the next 3 months. My name is Chibs. I have been doing this since 2019, like I mentioned before, when I took the test and passed it the first time. And ever since then, I've been doing these sessions. We first started in person in Copenhagen, and when COVID came, we went online and more people started joining. Is there anything else I need to say here? Moving on to the next thing. So we meet twice a week on Zoom, Wednesday at 8, Sunday at 8. And we practice both tests in every session. So we start with INDFØDSRETSPRØVEN and then we go to Melbourne. The Kahoot code is at the bottom of the screen. I will copy it and paste it here. But in general, if you're looking for the Kahoot code, it's always at the bottom of the screen. All right, so that's about the meeting. All right, all of the sessions are recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So if you miss a session, you can always catch up by going to the YouTube channel. If you look under playlists, there will be a session for summer 2026. This one was for the last one for winter 2025. And as you can see, sessions for basically record all the sessions and upload them. All right. So a little bit about the tests. So INDFØDSRETSPRØVEN is a total of 45 questions. There are 3 parts. There's the history part, which is based on the learning material, current affairs, and Danish values. The history is the first 35 questions. Current affairs is question 36 to 40, Danish values 41 to 45. The history has the most number of questions and is always a mixture of frequently asked questions and questions that have never been asked before. I've been doing this for a while, so I can see the patterns of the test now. The frequently asked questions are questions that have appeared in at least more than one previous test. And usually, the easier the test is, the more FAQs there are. The harder the test is, the less there are. I don't know if that made any sense. Let's keep going. The secret sauce to passing the test. Oh yes, I forgot something. I need to clear all drawings and disable annotations. Great. Okay, so the secret sauce to passing the test, okay, is get familiar with all the possible questions. Now, this is what this whole process is going to teach you how to do. Okay? This whole process, I am going to push you through the system that I put together that has helped me pass the test and has helped many other people pass the test. Okay? Make sure you go through all the quizzes more than once until you are consistently scoring 80% and above. Then rinse and repeat. That means keep doing this over and over again. Reading the book becomes easier as you go through the quizzes and vice versa. In the end, you will be surprised that you know more about Denmark than your home country. This is exactly what happened to me, and this is exactly what has happened to hundreds, if not maybe thousands of other people that have gone through this process. So this process works, okay? Now about a little bit about Melbourne. Let me go back one step. This here, you will achieve through your profile. Okay? I'm going to talk a bit more about your profile later on. Melbourne is a total of 25 questions. It's mainly a collection of frequently asked questions, all based on the learning material. Practicing all the previous tests and reading the book once is enough to pass. Okay? So all you have to do is practice all the previous tests, read the book once or twice, and you'll be good. I am in the process of creating quizzes for the Melbourne. Robbie, what do you mean? We see as in pause. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Let me know in the chat. Okay, great. Because I'm not sure. Okay, good. All right, so that's Melbourne. Okay, your profile. Okay, there's only one way to get a profile in this program. The way to get a profile is to come and participate in one of these sessions. When you get your profile, your goal is to get your profile to 100%. How do you get your profile to 100%? You get your profile to 100% by doing each and every single quiz at least 6 times each. Okay? And I'll show you an example of a profile. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to show you how to find your profile at the end of the session. So stick around. There's a YouTube video. I will share it with you guys in the chat. Watch that video, find your profile. A profile looks like this. Okay. So this is an example of a profile, and this person has been practicing. So they've actually, let me click into this. You can see that they've done this 3 times. They've done this quiz 3 times. That means it's 50% completed. Okay? They've only done this 1 time. That's 16.67% completed. Now, when they do this same quiz 6 times, it gets to 100%. And you have to do that for all the quizzes. Now, each of these quizzes cover, so all the questions on this website comprehensively cover all the information in the learning material. And whenever you make a mistake on your profile, it will show you incorrect quiz answers, and you will see the quizzes and the 4 incorrect answers. You can go in there and correct them, and they will disappear. Also, with your Kahoot, when you play and you make mistakes on your profile, you will see quizzes with all your mistakes. Okay? The purpose of all this is that your brain actually learns better from trying and failing. A lot of people say, oh, I haven't read the book and I don't have enough confidence to come and try. It doesn't matter if you've read the book or not. Come and try. Fail. Find out what you don't know. Go back. Plug the knowledge gap. Come back to the session. Test yourself. We're starting with a real test, and moving forward, we'll keep going with mock tests. Okay? So mock tests are basically, I designed these tests and they are similar to the real test with real current affairs, real Danish values, and real questions from the learning material. Okay, I don't know if that made any sense, but we'll move on. Yes, I've talked about this already. Your profile is automatically created for you. Make sure you use the same name whenever you participate in a Kahoot session. This is the reason why I was saying don't use names like A and S and stuff like that. Use a proper name that you can remember and that someone else can't just come and use, okay? And choose a name that you're happy to keep for the whole process until the test. I think that was it. Yes, so let's start. The questions are in Danish. The game number is at the bottom of the screen, but I'll paste it in the chat. All right. So this question is about Råstrømpebevægelsen, which is part of the women's movement in the 1970s. It is a frequently asked question. Just a note on this. There is a quiz on your profile called Most Frequently Asked Questions. And it starts from, it's broken up into 4 parts, okay? The most frequently asked question is, when did women get the right to vote? So this is the question that has the highest probability of showing up on the next test. It is very important that you know the answers to absolutely all of these questions. There's about 200 of them. All right, we'll move on. By the way, I will be repeating myself a lot. So I will be sounding like a broken record, but I'm doing that on purpose because actually that's how your brain learns, by repetition. Basically, this whole process can be summed up in one word: repetition. Okay, moving on. Okay, so was Denmark invaded by the Germans under the First World War? The answer is no. This is also a frequently asked question. Just a side note, the test in winter 2025, to me, was one of the easiest tests ever. Why? It's because majority of the questions were actually FAQs. The interesting thing, though, was that it had one of the lowest pass rates. So I think it had like, is it 47% or something pass rate? And I was quite surprised. But that was like the nationwide pass rate. The pass rate in the group was 20% higher than that. Um, I said all of that to say, remember what I said just before. It is important that you know the answers to every single FAQ. Because if you're lucky, then you get a test like this and you'll be done within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, 65 people got this wrong. You're going to hear me say this.
Now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know. Your mistake is going to show up on your Kahoot on your profile. I'm going to import everything to your profile, and then you can go there and fix your mistakes. Next one. Okay, someone just asked a question. Do you ever test us on current quizzes? Yes, of course. Sarita, I don't know what to say. You can't hear me. This is also a frequently asked question. By the way, if you are not doing well today, please do not feel bad, okay? You are just figuring out what you don't know. And that's the purpose of this whole thing. Try, figure out what you don't know, go back, fix it, come back and try again. Keep doing this, and by the time you're done, you're gonna have the answers to over 1,000 questions in your head. And remember, the test, at least the history part, is only 35 questions. So it'll be 35 questions out of those 1,000 that you know, and you'll be really prepared and you'll ace it. The question here is about the first bridge over Lillebelt. It's called Lillebeltsbron, and it was opened in 1935. All right, next one. This is also an FAQ. Where are we? Okay, so Iceland got its independence from Denmark in 1944. So Iceland was under Denmark for something like 500 and something years. And during the Second World War, so there was this agreement, I can't remember what it's called, but there's an agreement that had to be renewed. But because Denmark was occupied by the Germans, Denmark could not officially renew that agreement. For that reason, Iceland held a referendum and they decided to become independent in 1944. So this was 1 year before the end of the Second World War. For the people that got that wrong,
now you know what you don't know.
Get it right next time. 25 people lost their answer streak of 3. Sorry, guys. Next one. All right, most of you got this right. Well done. Helle Thorning-Schmidt was the first female prime minister in Denmark. She was a member of the Social Democratic Party. This is a frequently asked question. So far, there's been 5 questions. I think all of them have been FAQs. So that's the first 5 questions of winter 2025. 64 people got this wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
Next one. Okay, we have MC, Mela, Leo, Genesis, and Ruth. By the way, something else I wanted to show you guys. This thing is also a game, and we have leagues here. We have the Gold League, so that's the first 30, so the best 30 players. Okay, so whenever you're taking quizzes, you earn points. It tells you your quiz accuracy, the number of quizzes you've done, your Kahoot accuracy, la-di-da-di-da. First, the best 30 players are in the Gold League. The second best 30 players are in the Silver League. And the third are in the Bronze League. The rest is in the Rookie League. So the Rookie League is for people that have only attended one Kahoot. So this is just, gamification. Of course, this is not really that important, but for the competitive people that want to see themselves, either in the Gold League, Silver League, out of the Bronze League, whatever, this will help you motivate yourself. You can see Lanka P rose through the ranks and got to number 1. Japan actually fell to number 4. So when you go up, there's a green arrow. When you go down, there's a red arrow pointing down. All right, let's move on. Next one. Also frequently asked question. All right, well done. 153 got this right.
Excellent.
This is also an FAQ. Remember what I said? This test was super easy. So when it came out, I had a look and I was like, wow, a whole bunch of people are going to pass this. And then the official results came out and I was like, what the heck? But in the group, a whole bunch of people passed. So it worked for them at least. Next one. C. Thomas now in the top 5. We've got MC, Mela, Leo, and Genesis. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. Thomas at number 5. 15 people reached an answer streak of 3.
Great job.
Next one. All right, so also FAQ. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Remember, I said I'm going to sound like a broken record, so please bear with me. This is a frequently asked question. They usually ask about the turnout, the voter turnout for the elections. The Folketing elections have the highest voter turnout with between 80 to 90% of voters actually turn up and vote. The second highest is the communal and regional elections, and the third highest is the European Parliament elections. In this case, they were asking for a specific number. Yeah, it's between 80 and 90, so anything between that was the right answer. Okay, next one. Who fell out? Can't remember, but someone called Paul is now in. C. Thomas still at number 5. Ram is back in the game with 3 in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Natalia, remember what I said. Do not feel bad. Okay? Do not feel bad. We're just figuring out what you don't know. That's the purpose of this. All right, so this is how power is split in Denmark. So according to the constitution, power is split 3 ways. Legislative power, executive power, and judiciary. The legislative power is split between the government and the parliament. Executive power is with the government and judiciary is with the courts. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, good questions coming in. Someone says, is this how lightning quick we have to be for the real exam? The answer is no. I put you under a bit more pressure here than in the real test. Why do I do that? It's the same reason why you go to the gym to train. Okay? You put yourself under pressure in the gym so that when you're, let's say you're a sprinter, right? You train for years and years only to run for 10 seconds. Okay? It's the same thing I'm doing here. I'm putting your brain under a lot of pressure. So I give you 20 seconds to answer a question. In the real exam, you have 1 minute. Okay? I put you through all of the questions. In the real exam, you only have 35 questions from the history, 5 questions from current affairs, and 5 questions from Danish values. So if you go through this process with me, you will be prepared, just like an Olympic athlete is prepared to run that 100-meter race. Okay, so this is the work that happens behind the scenes. Okay, next one. Okay, I didn't expect most of you to actually get this. This was one of the brand new questions. So the book was updated last year in August, and this was one of the new people that was added to the book. She is an author. Wait, no, skuespiller. So what's that? An actress. Yeah. How many people got this wrong? 95. Okay, yes. Moving on to the next one.
Now you know what you don't know.
Next one. Okay, what do we have here? MC Mellor, C. Thomas Genesis, and 4. Toro is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
One. So Kim Larson was the lead singer of Gasoline. Also frequently asked question. This is from chapter 5 under music. Next one. We have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
MC Mellor, C. Thomas Genesis, and 4. May is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
She's on fire!
Excellent.
One. All right. So The Ugly Duckling, written by H.C. Anderson, also frequently asked question. 25 people got this wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
180 people got this right. Round of applause. All right, someone is asking where can they find the book. I'm going to show you. So if you go to the website called nearlydanish.com, you scroll down, you see there is a box that says INDFØDSRETSPRØVEN. You'll find the book, the timeline, people in the book, blah, blah, blah. Now, these quizzes are for if you do not have a profile. However, if you have a profile and you participated in one of these games, you just click on players and it will take you to that leaderboard. You search for your name here, find your name, click on it, and that's your profile. You save that link and keep coming back there to keep practicing. I'm going to share a video on how to find your profile later on. Okay, let's move on. 6 people have 4 answers in a row. Next one. Lisa Norgore. She showed up in current affairs some time ago and she showed up again here. So, like I said, a lot of these questions were FAQs. We're on question number 12 now, and at least 10 of them are FAQs. Someone is asking, do we have sessions for current affairs and Danish values? Yes, we do. Okay. This thing covers everything. Okay. I'm not leaving out anything from the test. I've been doing this for about 7 years. So, of course, like I'm going to cover everything. Do not worry. Okay. I know some of you are worried, skeptical, nervous, a whole range of emotions. But I know you don't know me from anywhere, but I'm asking you to trust me on this process. Okay? Trust me on this process, and you are going to pass this test. Of course, I can say that, but the proof is in the pudding. If you go in the group, you'll see a whole bunch of people posting their results. All right, next one. That was a combo breaker. 4 people dropped the answer streak of 7. This is the real test. It's usually 3. All right, so this was one that people also got wrong in the actual test. So there was a lot of growth in the 1960s. I think this. Wait, what's that guy's name? Paul Schluter. I think it was the 60s, wasn't it? So Paul Schluter is the first and only prime minister from the Conservative People's Party. And during his reign, he was in government. He was the prime minister for like almost 10 years or something, maybe 11. And during his time, Denmark had an economic boom. So I think it was in the 60s, but I might be wrong. And I'll look that up and check again. So more than half of you got this wrong. So this is definitely a weak point, right?
Now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know. The point of these sessions is to make your mistakes in these sessions so that you don't make your mistakes in the real test. Come here, figure out what you don't know, plug that knowledge gap, come back and try again. Keep doing that, and you're going to plug all your knowledge gaps. All right. 100 people got this wrong. Round of applause to you guys. Wait, what did I just say? 100 people got this wrong. 100 people got this right. Round of applause to you guys.
Excellent.
Okay, next one. 9 people got an answer streak of 3. This is really good. Almost all of you got this right. 11 people got it wrong. This is a frequently asked question.
Now you know what you don't know.
Okay, 14 questions, at least 10 of them FAQs. 10 or 11 anyways. We have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
MC Mela, C. Thomas, Peugeot 5008, and Slavic. 3 people reached an answer streak of 11.
You win.
Next one. Okay, another frequently asked question. So you have to be at least 15 years old before you are tried as an adult in court. Okay, how many people got this wrong? 54 people got this wrong. 152 got it right.
Excellent.
Okay, I turned the volume down. Let me know if it's too loud. Okay, moving on. So the limit for an abortion in Denmark was changed from 12 to 18 weeks. This was new information that was added to the book, and it showed up in the test. They are not going to update the book until August this year. So the current book that we have now is the one that all the questions are going to be based on, at least in the first 35 questions. So we don't have to worry about updated information. All right, next one. Static top 5 yet again.
Static top 5.
Next one. Is the volume better now? Yeah, another frequently asked question. So Grundloven, which is the constitution, was last changed in 1953. And one of the changes was that women were allowed to inherit the throne. And this is because the king at the time, I'm not sure, Frederick, is it Frederick 9 or 8? I can't remember, had all daughters. And Queen Margaret II became queen because of the change of this law. Okay, almost 100 people got this wrong. Actually, more than 100 people got it wrong. Okay, what's happening here? Ruth is now in the top 5. Olivenson is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Okay, next one. Yeah, man, I don't know what to do about this thing. Maybe I'll look at the sound, the volume levels later. I'll have to turn it all the way down. Okay, what's going on here? All right. So which of the following parties is the oldest? Something I always recommend is make a list of all the political parties in parliament. For each party, let me start again. Make a list of all the political parties in parliament. For each party, write down the year the party was created, the leader of that party, and the year that party first got into parliament, because they could ask about any one of those things, as you can see here. So this is the actual test from winter 2025. So please make that list. And it's something I've been saying over and over and over again for several years now. And it proves relevant all the time for questions like this. All right, next one. Okay, so the Danish West Indies was sold to the US in 1917. This, I think, what's the name of those islands? Saint Croix, Saint, I can't remember the names. Um, they were sold to the USA in 1917. This is also quite relevant for what's going on now with with what's his name? Donald Trump saying that he wants to take over Greenland. First of all, he said he wants to buy Greenland. Denmark said it's not for sale. And then he's saying, I want to take over Greenland by force. I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, we don't know. We have to wait and see. But this is not the first time that Denmark sold um, part of its territory to the US. All right, next one. Remember what I said. I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, this is the most frequently asked question, but in disguise. Okay, so the question is, did women get the right to vote when Greenland was created in 1849? It's exactly the same question as this. Okay, you go to frequently asked questions and you click on boom, and it says, when did women get the right to vote for parliament? The answer is 1915. Okay, so this is a good example of what I just told you. Make sure you know the answers to every single one of these questions. There's part 1 to 4. There's about 200 of them. You must, I repeat, you must know the answers to every single one of these questions. Because if you know the answers to every single one of these questions, that's almost 50% of the test you get for free. So please do that. 70 people got this wrong. This is a question that you must know the answer to. So now you know what you don't know, okay? All your mistakes are going to show up on your profile. Fix your mistakes. Next time you see this question, make sure you get the right answer. Okay, next one. We have a static top 5. We've got MC, Mela, C. Thomas, Pojo, and Ruth. We are on question 21. Okay, so where are we now? So what symbol is in Greenland's flag? It's a circle. This question has been asked before. Okay, how many people got this wrong? 45 people got this wrong. So now you know what you don't know. And that's the whole point. If you are not getting these questions correct, do not feel bad. Do not beat yourself up. Do not start feeling, whatever emotion comes with it. Just understand that you're learning. Okay, you're learning what you don't know. Fix your mistakes, come back. Learn what you don't know. Fix your mistakes, come back. And so on and so forth. Next one. You guys are doing really well. Like almost on all the questions, over 100 people get these questions right. I am a bit reluctant to use the sound effects, but round of applause. I'm not going to use the sound effect because it's too loud for some of you. Okay, 45 people got that wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Please fix that. We still have a static top 5. MC, Mela, C. Thomas, Pojo, and Ruth. They are not budging. Dua is the highest climber, up 10 places. Excellent. Next one. Okay. So some people are saying they missed the sound effects.
Excellent.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys something else. On your profile, you will find quizzes for every single individual in the book. Okay? You will find the quizzes for the kings and the queens, for all the politicians. Case in point, we were just talking about Anders Fogh Rasmussen, and you will find him here. And you will see, what party he belonged to, when did the party get into parliament, la-di-da. 8 questions about him. Matter of fact, let's see, I think it was this. It's him. Yes, so he was in Venstre. So you can see this question is exactly, okay, it's not exactly the same question, but you get the point. I think, wait, let's see. It mentions NATO in here. Bloody, bloody, blood, blah, blah. Anyways, I'm not going to sit here and do this with you guys. Do that by yourself, and you will cover all the information on Anders Fogh Rasmussen. All right, next one. All right. Someone is asking, is it Facebook profile you mean or browser? Okay, I guess you just got in here, right? Okay, so this was new information that was added to the book. The section is called Focus on Africa, and they're asking about which continent gets the most aid from Denmark. Someone is asking about a profile. A profile is created for you when you come and participate in at least one session. Okay, what do I mean by participate? You join the Zoom and you play the game. You actively play the game as one of the players. So not just watching the game and answering in your head. So it's actively playing the game, okay? Now, when you do that, at the end of the session, so for instance, I can see there's over 200 people playing today. So at the end of this session, there will be over 200 new profiles, and they will all be on this leaderboard. I will send you a video on how to find your profile. It's pretty simple. Come here, search for your name, click on your profile, save that link, and do all your work there, okay? You're going to hear me talk a lot about your profile. Basically, your profile is the key to this whole process. I'm not talking about your Facebook profile. I'm talking about your profile on Nearly Danish, okay? What was this about? Oh, one more thing. There is also a timeline. So if you go to nearlydanish.com, scroll down, you see this button that says timeline, click on that, and you will see a timeline from the 900s going all the way down. All the events have been extracted, mapped out for the people that enjoy this type of content, okay? So that's also available for you. All right, moving on to the next one. We still have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
Okay, we're more than halfway through now. What's this question about? Yes, so the members of the European Parliament are voted in via direct elections in the member countries. A static top five moving forward. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right, the Paris Agreement from 2015 is about the climate. Next one. Mason, turn down the volume on your side, okay? If that helps, because that's part of this whole thing. I'm gonna keep using the sound effects. All right. So question is, does Denmark have reservations for EU's defense policies? They used to, up until 2022. So right after COVID, when the war in Ukraine started, there was a referendum, and those reservations were abolished. They were canceled. So I can see most of you chose yes, but the answer is no. So if you remember, in 2022, when the war in Ukraine started, there was a referendum, and the people voted to scrap those reservations. Okay, next one. That's a weak spot, and most of you got that wrong.
Now you know what you don't know.
All right. Okay, so Mela at number 1, Peugeot 2, MC3, C. Thomas 4, and Amanda at 5. Apes is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Okay, next one. All right, so Sven Forkbeard in year 1000 or something like that. Was it 1010 or something? He invaded England and killed a whole bunch of people there. This was when this was back in the Viking era, when the Vikings used to go to England and plunder the place. This question has been asked before in a test from the last 5 years. Can't remember the exact one. But yes. Static top 5. Over the years, people have been telling me stories about how these sessions become a family affair. So I'm seeing Olivenson talking about having their 14-year-old playing with them and actually getting better scores. I've heard all kinds of stories like that, and that actually warms my heart. So thank you for telling me. Okay, that was a tough round. 3 people dropped the answer streak of 3. This is a static top 5. Mela, Peugeot, MCC, Thomas, and Amanda.
Static top 5.
Next one. There are 45 questions, okay? You only see 53 there because there were some slides in the beginning. Okay, what's going on now? So 40 people got this wrong. So what is the eldest city in Denmark? And it's Ribe. Next one. Now you know what you don't know for the 40 people that got that wrong. Static top 5 still. Mandy Pearson is back with an answer streak of 3.
Great job!
Next one. Question number 30 now. This is also a frequently asked question. Okay, so Stoun's bundle is from the 1700s. So it was a law that was created by the king. So this was during the feudalist times where the landlords owned all the land, and they struck a deal with the king where they kind of basically forced the king to create a law that restricted the movement of the workers on the land. So you had to, if you were born in a place, you couldn't leave that place up until you were 40 years old. And what that did was that it secured cheap labor for the landowners. That lasted for, I think it was from 1733 to 1788. Can't remember. It lasted about 55 years. So it's also a frequently asked question. So I can see 97 people got this wrong. This is a weak spot. Almost half of you got this wrong. 105 people got it right.
Excellent.
Next one. Okay, Amanda climbing the charts now at number 4. There is some movement in the top 5. 3 people hit an answer streak of 21. Wow. Wow! Next one. For questions like this, this is where the timeline comes in handy. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so on the timeline, you can see, I think it's up here, boom. The first railway in Denmark, 1847. All right, next one. We're almost at the end. This should be easy. All right, Amalienborg. That's where the royal family currently lives. Frequently asked question as well. Who is Mela? Frequently asked question as well. Okay, so the commune is responsible for Folkeskolen and a whole bunch of other responsibilities. They could ask about any of them. You will come across more of these types of questions. I was going to say something, but I actually forgot. Okay, so we're at question number 33 now. 2 more questions in the history part, and then we move to current affairs and Danish values. I will be talking about the current affairs to kind of give you an idea of what to look out for. I collect, I'm constantly monitoring the news and I'm collecting everything that fits into those themes, but I will be talking about those themes once we start coming across them. All right, static top 5. I think, 2 more in history. Frequently asked question as well. Okay, so the state and the commune can basically tax people in Denmark. How many people got this wrong? So 89. Okay, last question. So Peugeot has a streak with 34 correct answers in a row. That's a perfect score.
Perfect score.
And he's on fire.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Okay. So this guy actually knows what he's doing. I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl, but well done to you.
Great job!
We've got Mela, Pojo, MC, Amanda, and C. Thomas in the top 5. Last history question before we go to current affairs. So the question is, when did homosexuals get the right to a registered partnership? The answer is 1989. Semi-frequently asked question. Usually they ask when homosexuals got the right to be married in Dansk Folkekirken. Okay, that was the last history question. We're going to move on to current affairs. I will be talking about the theme of the question, and I'll talk about the most likely questions to come out on the next one. Usually so out of 5 questions, we usually get 3 to 4 out of 5. And I'll be talking about that. Okay, static top 5. All right, we're now in current affairs. So Denmark had the presidency of the Council for the European Union. We practiced this question in one of our mock tests. So for all the people that were practicing with us, they actually knew the answer to this. The theme of this question is whenever something happens in the EU, some event. So usually when, for instance, when there was an election to the European Parliament, that showed up in current affairs. When Dan Jørgensen, who used to be a minister in the Danish government, became a commissioner, that showed up in an EU commissioner, that showed up in current affairs. So anything to do with the EU and Denmark having some kind of prominent thing in the EU, that shows up in current affairs. So basically Denmark's relationship with the EU. Okay, moving on, static top 5. Yes. Okay, so this is connected to whenever there's any type of election in Denmark. So last year was the communal and regional election. And the question is about who got the most votes. Which party got the most votes? There was also a possible question about which party got the most mayors, most borgmester. So we practiced for most borgmester. I remember waking up on the day of the test and saying, they're probably going to ask about which party got the most votes. And I was just about to write it in the group. And I was like, oh, it's too late. And lo and behold, it was in the test. But most people still got it right. This year, there's going to be the parliamentary elections on the 24th of March. There will definitely be a question about that in the next test. So either about who got the most votes, who's the current prime minister, who's the blah, blah, something. Okay, it's definitely going to show up. All right, next one. Okay, so the theme of this is Danish excellence on the world stage. So whenever, a Danish person wins some major tournament, in this case it was Vuelta a España. It was, what's his name, Jonas Vingegaard. Jonas Vingegaard has shown up in quite a few of these tests where he won Tour de France twice and he's won this, showed up. Also, Olympics, also Nobel Prizes. This year, the handball team won, I think it's VM. So the Danish men's handball team actually won, is it VM or EM? I think it was European Mesterskap. That is going to show up on the next test. Okay? Moving on to the next one. I think this is the last one. Is it? No, it's not. Or is it? Yes. Also, anyways, I'll talk about this after this. Okay, so all of the current affairs that you've seen up until this point, we actually practiced in at least one or more of the mock tests. This one, I didn't catch this one. Like I said, my hit rate is between 3 to 4 out of 5. This one, I didn't catch this one. The theme of this is like, I don't know, man. It's like sometimes random questions show up. But the prices of, I think there was a tax on chocolate or something like that. And also the price on meat went up. So yeah, so sometimes you can catch these random things. So I say all of that to say this. I am not the holy grail of information, okay? Also keep an eye out in the news for yourself. Read the news every day, watch the TV, TV2, DR. Keep an eye out, okay? So that whatever I miss, you catch. And that way you have, a backup plan. All right, next one. This is the last current affairs question. We practiced this as well. All right.
Excellent.
Most of you got this right. So the theme for this is some kind of security event. So I remember when there was a shooting in Fields, that showed up in the test. Then the drone thing happened last year in September. It showed up. And there were some other things, I can't remember them off the top of my head right now, but they also showed up in the test. I remember now, the terror attack in 2015 or 16, can't remember, that showed up in the test. So there hasn't been any major security things happen since January, but keep an eye out for those types of things because they might show up in the test. All right, so that was 5 current affairs questions. We actually practiced 4 out of 5 of them in the mock tests from last year. So most people actually got them right. The only one we didn't hit was the meat one, the one about meat. Okay, we're moving to Danish values. Now, Danish values is something else, okay? There's a strategy to approach the Danish values questions. I will explain that strategy. For now, we're just going to run through them. But it's really simple. There will be a session dedicated to Danish values. I'm not going to talk much about these ones. So let's move forward. Okay, we have a static top 5. Mela, Pojo, MC, Amanda, and C. Thomas. I can see Spider is already giving it all up. Well done, man. Oh, shucks, he failed from last time. Sorry. Okay, what's this about? I think it's crimes against the state. So they follow themes as well. So this one is crimes against the state. Next one. Like I said, we're going to talk about these as time goes on. So Summer has a streak of 41 correct answers in a row. I think that's 100%.
Perfect score.
Excellent.
Excellent.
All right, next one. Okay, this is about gender equality. I want to show you guys something. So on your profile, let's see, you will see Danish values here. There's this quiz. It says, what is this question about? Okay, so you'll see the question and then you're supposed to say what's the question about. So is Denmark amongst the 10 countries in the world that has the highest political freedom and citizen rights? What's this question about? It's about freedom. Okay, that's one of the values. And then next one. So all of these are the actual values. So this is a good example. The very first time I saw this question, it says, who can be a bishop in the Danish People's Church? Okay, this is not phrased correctly. But anyways, the original question was, can women also become bishops in Dansk Folkekirken? Honestly, I did not know. But when I thought about it, I was like, one of the values in Denmark is gender equality. So the answer is probably yes. In this case, this is about gender equality. So the actual values you will find here, okay? And as long as you understand that all of the questions that are about these values, child protection, gender equality, low corruption, no domestic violence, so on and so forth, as long as you understand that, then it doesn't matter what question is thrown at you. As long as you view those questions through those lenses, you'll be able to get the answer. We will have a session that trains you on that, okay? On to the next one. Think of it, what's this question about? Exactly. So this question is about freedom, specifically freedom of speech. Okay? So you can criticize other people's religion in Denmark because there is freedom of speech. And also pay attention to how the question is asked. All right, next one. What is this question about? Spider, I guess you weren't listening to what I was saying. Okay, I'll talk about this because Spider actually got this wrong in the actual test. So, what's this question about? This question is about domestic violence. Okay? And it's asking what percentage of citizens in Denmark think that it's unacceptable that a man can hit his wife or his girlfriend. Now, it's asking for a specific number. Now, there's a trick to this, okay? The trick is always choose the number that makes Denmark look good. In actual fact, I don't know the percentage, right? I don't know if it's 65, 37, or 94. But if I use that rule and I look at these numbers, I look at this and it says, oh, what percentage of people in Denmark think that it's unacceptable to hit your spouse? Now, which number is going to make Denmark look the best here? 94. I choose that. And that was the right answer. The first thing was, what's this question about? Domestic violence. Uh-huh. And then look at the way the question is phrased. Then I'm like, okay, I need to choose something that makes Denmark look good. I choose 94. Kaboom. That's the answer. All right, next one. I think that's the next one is the last one. We got Mella number 1, Peugeot 2, MC3, Amanda 4, C. Thomas 5. Vic is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
I hope you guys are beginning to see the pattern to this thing. This is the first session. All the other sessions are going to be similar to this, okay? The whole point is for you to come here, make your mistakes, go back, practice on your profile, correct your mistakes, come back, make some more mistakes, go practice, and do this for 3 straight months. Get your profile to 100%, go to the test, 5-10 minutes, you're done, you pass, and you can move on with your life. You don't have to think about this ever again. Think about this ever again. Okay? So what my commitment to you is that I will come here twice a week. Come rain, come shine. Even when I'm traveling, I take my laptop with me and I host these sessions. I've hosted a session in Japan once. Basically whenever I'm traveling, I'm hosting these sessions, okay? So that's my commitment to you. Your commitment should be to come to these sessions, okay? Make the commitment to yourself. Come to these sessions, practice, go through the process, pass, and move on with your life. All right. Last question, and we're done for tonight. Okay, so someone just asked, is the Zoom link always the same? Yes, the Zoom link is always the same. I've used the same Zoom link for years now, so it doesn't change. Someone also asked, when do we have the sessions? Sessions are every Wednesday and every Sunday at 8 p.m. without fail. So we're going to do this up until the night before the test. Okay. Yeah. And someone also asked, do we have to read the book? Me personally, I did not read that book because every time I tried to read it, I fell asleep because it's so boring. But what did I do? I did exactly what I'm telling you guys to do. I did this. I extracted all the questions. I turned it into a game, and that actually helped. I'm a bit of a nerdy type of guy, right? So, you know, I structured the whole thing into a game where I was playing it, and then I invited people to come and play. So there was about 7 of us when we started, and all of us passed, and this was in 2019. And ever since then, I've been doing the same thing because I enjoy it. All right, this was the last question. Let's move on. Podium. Mela. MC at number 3. Peugeot at number 2, and I think Mela at number 1. By the way, hold on, don't leave yet. Don't leave. I will share a video on how to find your profile. Amanda at 4 and C. Thomas at 5.
NearlyDanish.com.